Well, hey YouTube, so today guys, we have a review of a product we've all probably used before at some point. It's quite well known, it's quite highly used. Nobody really talks about it too much, however, this is a product we've all probably used before in our lives. We have Bengay. This is indeed the ultra strength, non-greasy Bengay variant, if you're wondering here. Here's the packaging. And let's take this thing out, guys. If you don't know what Bengay is, I'm surprised. Most people do know what Bengay is. Most people have used it at some point. It's not something you use all the time, but it's definitely something you can use on occasion. Basically, guys, it's a pain-relieving cream. Some people prefer using ibuprofen and aspirin to take care of pain. I'm personally somebody who does not prefer to use, topical, not topical, but to use pills like that. I don't like putting so many unnecessary things into my body to begin with. So I'm not a fan of using ibuprofen and aspirin whenever possible. Obviously, there's times when you have surgery, you have a procedure where it's necessary, and that's a different situation. But for things that are not too crazy, guys, you don't need to be using stuff like that. There's a lot of times where you can just kind of deal with the pain, or use a much safer alternative, guys, because those drugs are highly addictive, which is another issue. You have this, which is not nearly as addictive. You're not actually ingesting this. This is Bengay. This is a cream. I do believe there's methane. Yeah, there's methanol, 10% methanol. You got camphor. You got methyl salicate. They're all topical antiseptic, anesthetic products that will help reduce the pain, guys. I don't have any pain right now. However, I will show it to you what it looks like. Oh shit! It just kind of exploded there. That's Bengay, guys. It's a white, thick cream. Do not ever consume this, guys. There's ethanol in there, and methanol is horrible for you. Very thick cream. It smells not the best. I'll be honest, it doesn't smell the best, but it does do a pretty good job cleaning out and making you feel a little bit better. It does work pretty quickly. I would say within 10 minutes you can feel it. What's gonna happen, guys, if you put it on your skin? The skin will first become more numb. It will numb the skin. Then gradually you would notice a decrease in pain. So yeah, that's how it works, guys. It's a pretty cool product. I love it. It really does help me out when I need it. I don't use it too often though. Only a few times a year. However, when you need something fast and you don't, necessarily agree with the addictive and more unhealthy path like I do, this is a perfect alternative, man. You don't have to take aspirin or ibuprofen. You really don't. Bengay can satisfy your need. It's not addictive like those ingredients are. This is a safer alternative. I really recommend you guys use this over aspirin and stuff like that. I don't know. That's just my opinion on the topic. But overall, Bengay, it's good shit. It works a lot, and I really appreciate them. I really appreciate it. It's a good product. When I sprained my quadriceps in middle school. That was the most pain. That was the most gruesome injury I've ever had. I've never actually broken anything before. However, when I sprained my quadriceps, because I have to use that part of the body to walk, it was extremely painful, guys, when I tried to walk after. And I used Bengay and it did in fact help with that. So overall, I have a link down below if you want to buy Bengay. Thank you and bye.